Did you know that most people spend their entire lives waiting for a moment that never comes, waiting for more time, more money, more support, more clarity? They tell themselves, when everything is in order, when I feel prepared, when the perfect opportunity shows up, then I'll start. But here's a hard truth, one that's painful and freeing at the same time. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It never will. And the sooner you understand this, the sooner you'll wake up to your true power. Think about it. How many times have you postponed your goals because you felt you weren't ready? Maybe you said, I'll start training next month. I'll save when I earn more money. I'll study when I have more free time. I'll start my project when the conditions are better. And without realizing it, those months turn into years, and those years into an entire life of waiting. Most people die with their dreams untouched because they never had the courage to act in the middle of uncertainty. The difference between those who change their destiny and those who remain stuck in routine is simple. Some stop waiting and decide to begin with what they have, as they are, where they are. Others keep dreaming of a scenario that will never appear. This message is not cheap motivation. I'm not here to tell you life will be easy or that opportunities will fall into your lap. I'm here to tell you that you don't need to wait for anything external. What you need is an internal decision, an unshakable resolution to move forward even when you don't have all the answers. Stay until the end, and you'll discover how to turn doubt into determination, waiting into action, and uncertainty into confidence. I know how you feel. I've seen this struggle over and over again. People with incredible talent, brilliant ideas, and huge potential, yet they're stuck. Why? Because they convinced themselves that something is missing. I need more knowledge. I need more experience. I need more support. I need more luck. And meanwhile others with fewer resources, less preparation, and less support are already building what the first group keeps waiting for. Not because they had more, but because they dared to decide. Picture this. You're standing in front of a massive door. Behind that door lies the life you dream of. Your goals accomplished, your projects complete, your best self, living in fullness. But here's the detail. That door will never open on its own. No matter how long you wait, no matter how much you beg, no matter how much you believe that someday it will happen, it won't. That door only opens for those who knock hard, for those who grab the handle without guarantee, for those who push forward even while trembling. Here's the secret. The perfect moment doesn't open the door. Your decision does. And I know right now your mind may be filling with excuses. What if I fail? What if I make mistakes? What if others criticize me? Let me ask you something. What if the opposite happens? What if you succeed? What if you discover a strength inside you that you didn't know existed? What if the things you feared weren't as big as you imagined? You'll never know unless you start. Your biggest enemy is not a lack of resources, not a lack of time, not even a lack of support. Your biggest enemy is waiting. Waiting feeds doubt, strengthens fear, and weakens confidence. Action, on the other hand, does the opposite. It strengthens you, it clarifies, it multiplies. Every step you take, even the smallest one, reduces the distance between you and the life you want. Let me share something that will change your perspective. You don't need to feel confident to start. Confidence comes later, as a result of starting. It's like learning how to swim. Nobody enters the water feeling completely secure. You enter with fear, with clumsiness, with insecurity. But every stroke, every movement gives you more confidence. Until one day, without even realizing it, you're swimming naturally. It's the same with your goals. You start with fear, and you end with confidence. That's why this message is for you, the one who's tired of waiting. the one who knows there's more inside, the one who realizes that time won't stop. I don't want you to keep postponing. I don't want you to be the person who looks back 10 years from now and says, I could have done it, but I didn't. I want you to be one of the few who rise up and say, it doesn't matter if I'm not ready. I'm starting now. Now that you understand the perfect moment doesn't exist, I want to give you a clear path to leave waiting behind and step into action. These aren't quick hacks or magic formulas. They're timeless principles that have guided thousands of people to their goals, even in circumstances harder than yours. First truth. Total clarity on your goal. The problem for most people is not lack of talent, it's lack of definition. If your mind doesn't know where to go, your energy gets scattered. You want a bit of everything, but you're not committed to anything. It's like trying to reach a city without putting the address into the GPS. You move, you walk, you get tired, but you never arrive. Clarity is power. You need a goal so sharp you could describe it with your eyes closed. Ask yourself, what exactly do I want to achieve? Why do I want it? What am I willing to do and to give up to make it happen? Until you answer these questions with brutal honesty, your life will keep moving in circles. Second truth, immediate action, even if it's imperfect. The biggest mistake is believing you need more information before you act. Knowledge without action is paralysis disguised as preparation. Imperfect action always beats perfect inaction. Start with what you have. If your goal is to start a business, make the first call, post your first product, create the first prototype. If your goal is to improve your body, go for a walk today, sign up for the gym today, eat better today. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. Movement creates clarity. Movement creates confidence. Movement creates momentum. Third truth, accept the cost of success. Everyone wants the prize. Few are willing to pay the price. Everyone wants results. Few want the routine. Everyone wants recognition. Few want the silent work. Let me say something that may hurt. If you're not willing to sacrifice comfort, you'll never have what you say you desire, because success is uncomfortable. It means waking up early when you want to sleep. It means studying when you want to rest. It means enduring when others quit. Success doesn't come free. It comes with a bill, and the one who's willing to pay it will, sooner or later, reap the reward. Fourth truth, your environment is an invisible force. You may believe your decisions are yours alone, but the truth is, the environment you choose shapes you more than you realize. Surround yourself with people who complain, you'll complain. Surround yourself with disciplined people, you'll adopt their discipline. Your environment can be fuel or it can be poison. And if you can't find an environment that pushes you forward, create one. You don't need crowds, you need consistency. You may walk alone at first, but it's better to walk alone toward your dreams than accompanied toward stagnation. Fifth truth, structure and systems, not motivation. Motivation is volatile. Some days you have it, some days you don't. If you depend on motivation, you will fail. You need systems, structures, and habits that sustain you even when you don't feel like it. Ask yourself, how do I start my day? How do I end it? What do I feed my mind? What routines protect my energy? Greatness is never improvised, it's designed. A clear plan sustained by discipline is worth more than 1,000 bursts of temporary motivation. Sixth truth, self-discipline as identity, not as a task. Most people think discipline is something they do. Real discipline is something you are. You don't say, I'll try to be disciplined. You say, I am disciplined, and because you are disciplined, you follow through. Period. Self-discipline is not repression, it's self-respect. It's keeping your promises even when no one is watching, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired. Every time you do it, your confidence grows. Every time you give in, your confidence erodes. Discipline is the silent key to greatness. Seventh truth. Cut off the need for approval. Do you know what's one of the heaviest chains holding people back? The fear of judgment. What will they say if I fail? What will they think if I put myself out there? And while they think about this, their dreams wither. Understand this. Your life is not a popularity contest. Your value does not depend on applause. Your mission is bigger than the opinions of others. If you seek approval, you'll live imprisoned. If you seek conviction, you'll live free. No one who ever made history asked for permission first. They all made someone uncomfortable. And yet they moved forward. Eighth truth. Decision is everything. The moment you stop saying someday and start saying today, your life changes. It doesn't matter how many courses you take, how many books you read, how many videos you watch. Nothing changes until you decide there's no turning back. Decision is the true beginning. And it must be absolute, not conditional. Not I'll try, but I, because when your mind understands there's no plan B, it sharpens, it strengthens, it begins to see paths where before it only saw excuses. So let me ask you directly, what have you been postponing? What goal lives in your mind but never makes it to your calendar? What dream have you hidden behind excuses? Bring it to your awareness right now. Feel the weight of having delayed it so long. And now decide, today is the day you stop waiting. Because here's the secret, you don't need more time. You need fewer distractions. You don't need more resources. You need more determination. You don't need the conditions to change. You need to change. Remember this phrase, every day you wait is a day stolen from the life you could already be living. Imagine for a moment that your life is like an hourglass. Every grain of sand that falls is a second that will never return. No matter how hard you try, you can't flip it back. Time only runs one way downward. And here's the uncomfortable question. How many more grains are you going to let slip before you decide to? Many people say, I have time. But the truth is, you don't own time. Nobody does. You only own what you do with it. And most people waste it waiting, postponing, doubting. Life doesn't stop because of your indecision. The clock keeps ticking, whether you move or not. And while you wait to feel ready, others are already building the future you keep dreaming of. Listen to this with your heart. The person you could become is waiting for you. That stronger, more disciplined, more focused version of you is on the other side of your excuses. That version doesn't need better conditions. It only needs you to stop postponing your greatness. Do you know what the most dangerous moment in life is? It's not failure. It's not falling down. The most dangerous moment is later. That instant when you say, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it someday. Because later is a silent thief. It steals your present. It steals your energy. It steals your dreams. And by the time you notice, later has become never. Think about the times you hesitated to start. What would have happened if you had taken action back then? Where would you be today if you had taken that step 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago? That's the magnitude of the power you lose every time you wait. The truth is this, there are no guarantees, no obstacle-free paths, no success without sacrifice. But there is one certainty, if you don't start, you'll never arrive. Failure hurts, yes, but regret kills. It kills confidence. It kills dreams. It kills the fire inside you. And I don't want you to grow old with a list of excuses, instead of a list of achievements. Listen carefully. Success doesn't belong to the smartest, or the most talented, or even the most prepared. Success belongs to the one who refuses to quit. That's the rule. The one who keeps moving forward, even tired, even confused, even afraid. That's the one who becomes unstoppable. Do you want confidence? Don't look for it before you act. Confidence is earned through action. Every time you do what you said you would do, even if it's small, your confidence grows. Every time you keep your word to yourself, your mind says,
I can trust me. And that's the foundation of all success. Trust in your own word. So stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. One day it's there, the next it's gone. What you can train instead is discipline. And discipline is built by deciding to act, even when you don't feel like it. That's the real power. You don't need desire. You need decision. You don't need to wait. You need to move. And now I want to speak to you directly. If this message resonates with you, if you feel like I'm describing your life, it means you're ready for more. It's not a coincidence that you're hearing these words. It's not random that you've made it this far. This is a sign. Your life is calling you to a higher level. But that calling won't last forever. If you ignore it, the noise of the world will drown it out. That's why you need to decide today. Decide that you will no longer live on pause. Decide that you will stop waiting for the perfect signal. Decide that you will start now with what you have, with who you are. Because the perfect moment is not tomorrow. The perfect moment is you. Right? And if these words have touched something inside you, if they've awakened that spark you've been hiding, then do me a favor, subscribe. Not for me, for you. Because if this message reached your heart, it means you're ready to keep growing, to keep learning, to keep transforming. And this channel will be that space where you'll find the push you need to not give up. Don't let this just be another video on your list. Make it the beginning of your change. Click subscribe and turn on the bell. Not because it's some YouTube routine, but because it's a commitment to yourself. Because every reminder will be an invitation to keep moving, to keep building, to keep building in you. This is your moment. Take it. I want you to leave this video with one idea engraved in your mind. The perfect moment is not something you find. It's something you create. You are the architect of your destiny. No one else can make the decisions that belong to you. No one else can pay the price of your discipline. No one else can live the life only you can build. Throughout history, the men and women who left their mark were not the ones who waited until everything was ready. They were the ones who acted in the middle of uncertainty. The ones who stepped forward when others hesitated. The ones who had the courage to begin when it seemed they had nothing. And I'll repeat this again. Failure is not what should scare you. What should terrify you is living a life on autopilot. A life full of excuses. A life where one day you look back and realize it wasn't really yours. Because you never had the courage to decide, to risk, to act. That is real failure. Looking back and asking yourself, what if I had tried? I don't want you to be someone who collects excuses. I want you to be someone who collects victories, lessons, scars that tell stories of struggle. I want you to be someone who can say, it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. I didn't arrive all at once, but every step brought me closer. Not everything turned out perfect, but I never stopped. Remember this. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you decide to act, you're voting for your stronger self. When you decide to wait, you're voting for your weaker self. And the identity you build day by day becomes your destiny. You don't need to transform everything overnight. You only need to single small step, taken today, can be the beginning of a completely different life. Don't underestimate the power of small things. Because small things repeated with consistency become unstoppable. So here's my final question for you. What are you going to choose today? Will you keep waiting? Or will you start building? You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know every detail of the journey. You only need to decide that you will no longer wait. And the moment you decide that your life will begin to move. If this message resonated with you, don't leave it here. Click on the next video I'm leaving on the screen. There. We'll go deeper. And I'll give you new tools to multiply your discipline, your focus and your confidence. This is not the end. It's just the first step of a much bigger journey. Don't walk away with doubt. Walk away with action. The world doesn't need more people waiting. The world needs more people deciding. And today, that can be you.